Pace truck will roll out from turn number 2. And behind him, the O'Reilly Auto Parts USRA stock cars. 12 entries tonight. This is the tightest point battle we have, but that's going to be blown all up tonight as Mason Beck, your midseason point champion by only 2 points over Rob White Jr. Mason Beck's here, Rob's not. So his lead will grow in that division. He will start inside row number 1 out of Urbana, Missouri, and Christopher Sawyer still looking for his first win here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks. He starts outside row 1. Part of the Gator Graphics gang out of Warrensburg, Missouri is Dean Willie starting inside row 2. James Ellis his outside. Another part of that Gator Graphics gang from Warrensburg is James McMillan, a feature winner here this season in the 8M. Starts inside 3, and Waylon Dimmitt, he's taken home the trophy twice this year. He starts in 6th. John Scott and Blaine McMillan back in row 4. Gage Test's first time here at Lucas Oil Speedway. He is out of Mexico, Missouri, and it has indeed been a test for him. William Gardner will start in 10th outside row 5, and then the final row, Dalton Phillips, first race of the year for the Butler, Missouri native in the 21D, and Colton Borland, a 2-time winner at another track in the area. He is out of Appleton City. He will start in 12th.
Great way to go, man. Mason Beck, what a great start on the feature event here. What great luck on the redraw, Shane. Mason Beck gets the pole. And you know he's going to be fast. He is definitely fast, but Sawyer had a great car in his heat race, so no guarantees.
Yep, Sawyer was extremely fast as he will start outside row number 1. I'm going to keep my attention back in rows 2 and 3. Obviously, Mason Beck's going to be a favorite starting where he is, but I like the guy starting outside row 3 right now, too. Waylon Dimmitt, he won early in the year. He won most recently as well. He will start all the way back in 6th as the orange cone was in sight. Now the green is in sight. Now the Ozark, or the stock cars, take off in turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch they go, and the whole shot won by Mason Beck.
The O'Reilly USRA stock cars here tonight. In the house, the 0 of Mason Beck, Urbana, Missouri, 25 to decide it. He is on the point. Christopher Sawyer, the Buffalo, Missouri, number 12 in that second spot. But, man, it is Dean Willie, the veteran, up there in 3rd.
He's up in 3rd, side by side now for 4th. Waylon Dimmitt to the inside. The 83 of James Ellis works his way to the outside. Good run by Sawyer to get around Dean Willie. Boy, he sure showed some horsepower coming off of turn number 4. They're now in turns 1 and 2. And Mason Beck able to get a little bit of an advantage over a second now over Christopher Sawyer as he continues to go side by side with Dean Willie. And I like Waylon Dimmitt still to the inside. You saw the yellow lights flickering on the screen. There you see the Boone's Barbecue caution come out as the cars get woed down. And there's some issues on Blaine McMillan's car. Left front a little on the wobbly side, weeble wobble.
I'm not the most mechanically inclined, but I think he's not supposed to do that yet.
I don't think you can drive like that. He's going to go back to the pit area, and with that, we're going to step aside, get all the cars lined out. We had a good... Didn't take long to get the cars back underway and get back to racing action as Mason Beck led the first 2 laps, built up almost a second advantage over Christopher Sawyer and Dean Willie. And now Dean Willie will grab the spot away from Sawyer on the restart. With that Delaware file restart, Sawyer evidently picked the wrong line, gave Dean Willie a little too much traction, and Willie capitalized.
Yeah, absolutely, as they come around. It is Dean Willie, the 68 car in that second spot, but here comes the 12 car. Battle back further. Waylon Dimmitt, the 8, is in a battle, or Waylon Dimmitt, the 11 car, in a battle with the 8 here today. That is James McMillan.
McMillan, a feature winner this year. Waylon Dimmitt's won twice. As now way up on the high side is McMillan. He has found the cushion. He's found the tacky stuff. And as they head into 3 and 4, yellow light comes back on again. And this one's going to be for the other youngster, the 21D of Dalton Phillips out of Butler. He will loop it around. So much horsepower and so loud. No wonder they go 202 mile an hour.
Yeah, and when you stand on the finish line, as they go by, you can feel that through your chest. It is an incredible feeling and a lot of fun watching those boats. But time to watch the cars. Green flag out of 4.
Midseason champion has already won once tonight in Ryan Middaugh. Mason Beck is looking to do the same thing. He has led all 4 laps so far. And if you give Dean Willie too many opportunities like this with caution flags coming out, at some point in time, Dean is going to be able to capitalize. The 68 of Willie, he has so many victories, runs in so many different classes. He's ran a late model this year. He's won some big races up at I-70 and Tri-State over the last few years, won at Arrowhead last night. So Dean Willie trying to make it 2 in a row, and Waylon Dimmitt trying to make it 3 wins on the season as he works to the inside of Christopher Sawyer.
It is a battle for third. Waylon Dimmitt, the 11, is caution. Will come out again. A 54 crossways in that track.
And you see the fluid coming out of the front. There's no damage, so he's evidently just overheating as the radiator is dumping all sorts of water and liquid on the front stretch, or actually that's over in turn number 4.
Yep.
And this is a first time that he has been here this year. Slides it around. Just goes a little too hot and heavy for gauge test out of Mexico. Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew quickly over to tend to him. They do have some dry dirt in those big white buckets. They will put that down on the track once they get the 54 moved off of turn number 4. Yeah, that national event in October, we've held it here twice now. This will be the 3rd year. Many of these drivers in these classes, the stock cars, rotating schedule to where a class will get a little extra money. They'll get 5 more laps, so go from their typical 20-lap feature to a 25, and that honor goes to the O'Reilly Auto Parts USRA stock cars tonight. And Waylon Dimmitt, he started in 6th. He continues to move up the chain. He is now up into the top 3 on the outside of row 2 as we're back under green with 7 laps going up on the board for our 25-lap main.
Green flag flies. We are underway. It is the 0 of Mason Beck, but here comes Waylon Dimmitt. Dimmitt on the high side, Beck on the low side as they come across the line. This time it is Beck, Dimmitt, Willie, and McMillan, your top 4 as they come out of turn number 2.
2 and 3 wide, deeper in the field. William Garner looking to the outside of Christopher Sawyer. Ellis and John Scott back in that group as well. As Mason Beck, a 2-car length advantage over Waylon Dimmitt. We spoke at times earlier on this year with the new system that they have implemented here at Lucas Oil Speedway with the redraw as well. In years past, they just used passing points to set the starting grid. If you were the faster car, you passed a number of cars, you were pretty much going to be on the front row for the feature. If you held on to win, you got points for winning your race. But most other USRA tracks have a inversion or a redraw. That earns you passing points in your feature as well, which are accumulated in the national standings. Waylon Dimmitt right now is a prime example of why they did this year at Lucas Oil Speedway. He started in 6th. He's up to 2nd. If he can win, he's going to get another passing point. He's going to get another 5 points for the win. He has now locked himself into 3rd in the national standings with 6 wins, 13 top 5s. He has a top 5 in every single USRA feature he's been in. He's not looking for a top 5 now. He's looking for the win. To the outside of Mason Beck he goes, trying to find some grip, getting around the top side, keep that momentum up, and make a pass for the lead.
As he comes around, he looks to the high side. That is the 11 of Waylon Dimmitt. Dimmitt, the 11 from Camden, Missouri. And your leader, the 0 of Mason Beck. Beck from Urbana, Missouri, is your midseason champion. But it is a battle as they come around at the line. This time it is going to be Mason Beck by a car length. But Beck is in trouble. He has got Waylon Dimmitt on that high side. And the battle continues on.
Waylon Dimmitt's laps are better than Mason Beck's right now, but not by much, only by about a 10th. As they cross underneath the flag stand that time, we are approaching 10 laps to go. Mason Beck likes the low side. Waylon Dimmitt, he has not budged off of the top. It's working for him right now as he is only down by 0.3 seconds, and that extra 5 laps, Doug, may come in really handy in this race. If this is a 20-lap feature, Waylon Dimmitt's going to be pushing it right now to pick up the win. It would be 5 to go, but right now there's 10 to go. He can still kind of search around, try to find the grip, try to find the speed, and he's got plenty of time to still to go work on Mason Beck.
Mason Beck so far shutting the door on the 11 of Waylon Dimmitt. Dimmitt is trying to reopen, trying to find a way to get around. Hopefully he can drop down and get around, but the battle back there is the 8 and the 7 car. Garner and McMillan. As they come around here today, it is a battle for that 4th spot.
4th and 5th. Right now it goes to McMillan on the top side. He's able to clear Garner as they cross the start-finish line. A spinner in turn 4. You got a great look at it right there as the 21 of Dalton Phillips, the Bandit, spins for another time here at Lucas Oil Speedway, breaking out the Boone's Barbecue caution. 17 laps had been put on the board. Mason Beck, who started on the pole, has led all of them, but Waylon Dimmitt is there. He's looking to make the pass. He'll have 8 laps. Mason Beck has led all 17 laps so far in our 25-lap main on Night of Speed here on MAV TV. From Wheatland, Missouri, Shane Freeby, Doug Neff in the MAV TV production booth. Race control, whenever they go to this Delaware double file restart, they always tell the car in second, high or low, make it obvious. I think it's a no-brainer. Waylon Dimmitt wants the high side. That's where he was making hay. He will take the high line in turn number 2. That moves Dean Willie to the inside. This could end up being a 3 or a 4-car battle for the lead over our final 8 laps.
That caution may have been the best thing Mason Beck could have seen, just in the simple fact that Waylon Dimmitt was starting to figure out how to get around. Now, on the restart, I think Beck is a little faster on the restart. He's shown that so far. Dimmitt now to the high side as they come around, looking to make that momentum back as they will have 6 to go this time through.
Dimmitt has been better, obviously, on the high side. He has also been better on that end of the track, on 3 and 4. Mason Beck is usually able to gap him a little bit more in 1 and 2. So Waylon's going to need to find some way to get a good run in that turn to set it up a pass in 3 and 4. Here's a pass for 3rd as William Garner has gotten around Dean Willie, but Willie will fight back on the inside. James McMillan gets up into the picture in that white and green number 8. Those team cars of Dean Willie and James McMillan running 3rd and 4th right now as Mason Beck's lead still half a second. That equates into roughly 5 car lengths between he and Waylon Dimmitt. Side by side continuing on for 3rd as it's going to be William Garner right now on the top side in turns 1 and 2, able to hold on to that advantage. And Waylon Dimmitt's lost some ground. It was, before that caution came out, only about a 0.1 or 0.2 second advantage Beck had over Dimmitt. It's now closer to a second. So Mason Beck, not necessarily the fastest times, but he's got a good enough cushion over Waylon Dimmitt right now that it is working for the Urbana, Missouri native. Closing laps. 2 to go. Double sticks in the air from the Wheatland Outlaw. Mike Striegel up on the flag stand. Showing 2 more laps to go. The tear off from Dean Willie, you saw it come flying out the window. And Mason Beck's lead grows just a little bit more over Waylon Dimmitt. White flag lap this time around. It'll be 3/8 of a mile between Mason Beck and a victory here at Lucas Oil Speedway, barring a caution. All the way back on April 22nd was when Mason Beck came in and picked up the victory here at the Diamond and Dirt Tracks. He was a 2-time winner last year here at Wheatland, won 12 times overall. Win number 5 of the season is in the books for Mason Beck. Your midseason champ will win at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks. Waylon Dimmitt gave it a run, but unable to do anything with Mason Beck, who led all 25 laps for the A-Main. Dimmitt in second, William Garner. He will jump up. He started all the way back in 10th, so up 7 spots for William Garner. Dean Willie and James McMillan, your top 5. Borland, Ellis, Dalton Phillips able to rally after a couple of spins for an 8th place. Then the rest of your grid all the way down to Blaine McMillan. We saw him leave on lap number 2 with damage on the left front.